Q8016. Which type of bearings are generally used for connecting rods and camshafts? A. Plane. B. Roller. C. Ball. The correct answer is A. For connecting rods and camshafts in internal combustion engines, the most common type of bearings used are A. Plane bearings. Plane bearings, also known as journal bearings or sleeve bearings, are commonly used for connecting rods and camshafts in engines. These bearings consist of a shaft or journal rotating within a stationary sleeve. The interface between the shaft and the sleeve is typically lubricated to reduce friction and wear. Q8017. The actual power delivered to the propeller of an aircraft engine is called A. Friction horsepower. B. Brake horsepower. C. Indicated horsepower. The correct answer is B. Brake horsepower refers to the power output of an engine measured at the engine's crankshaft, after accounting for any mechanical losses. It represents the power available to do useful work, such as turning the propeller in the case of an aircraft engine. Indicated horsepower, IHP, represents the power developed within the engine cylinders and is measured based on pressure readings. However, it does not account for mechanical losses in the engine's components or the power required to drive auxiliary systems. Friction horsepower is the power consumed by the engine due to internal friction and losses, which reduces the overall power available at the crankshaft. Q8018. Campground pistons are installed in some aircraft engines to A. Provide a better fit at operating temperatures. B. Act as a compensating feature so that a compensated magneto is not required. C. Equalize the wear on all pistons. The correct answer is A. Campground pistons are designed with a non-circular shape, typically oval or cam-like, to compensate for the expansion and distortion that occurs in the cylinder bore at high operating temperatures. The shape of the piston allows it to conform more closely to the varying shape of the cylinder bore as it expands, improving the piston-to-cylinder wall clearance and reducing piston slap, noise, and excessive wear. Q8019. Using the following information, determine how many degrees the crankshaft will rotate with both the intake and exhaust valves were seated. Intake opens 15 degrees BDC. Exhaust opens 70 degrees BBDC. Intake closes 45 degrees ABDC. Exhaust closes 10 degrees ATDC. A. 290 degrees. B. 245 degrees. C. 25 degrees. The correct answer is B. As the piston moves upward on the compression stroke after reaching bottom dead center, the intake valve closes at a 45 degrees angle to the crankshaft. At this time, both valves are shut, and they stay shut until the piston crosses top center and descends to 70 degrees before bottom dead center on the power stroke. The exhaust valve opens at this point, for a combined total of 245 degrees. 45 degrees plus 180 degrees plus 20 degrees. Both valves are seated. Q8020. Some aircraft engine manufacturers equip their product with choked or taper-ground cylinders in order to A. Provide a straight cylinder bore at operating temperatures. B. Flex the rings slightly during operation and reduce the possibility of the rings sticking in the grooves. C. Increase the compression pressure for starting purposes. The correct answer is A. Some aircraft engine cylinders are ground with a little smaller diameter in the center than the diameter at the top of the barrel, where it screws into the head. It's known as choke grinding. When the engine reaches operating temperature, the diameter of a choke ground cylinder becomes uniform because the huge mass of the cylinder head expands more when heated than the smaller mass of the cylinder barrel.